A body fell abruptly onto a crowded dance floor, shattering the rhythm of a night meant for revelry and leaving onlookers frozen in disbelief. Despite investigating countless overdose cases and analyzing myriad causes of death, toxicologist Sienna had never witnessed a phenomenon so inexplicable and relentless. A series of overdoses sweeps through the city's underground party scene and homeless population. Victims collapse in crowded nightclubs, on darkened streets, and in abandoned buildings, their deaths attributed to heart failure or sudden, inexplicable violence. Toxicologist Sienna is called in when standard drug screenings turn up nothing. The symptoms are erratic. Some victims suffer immediate cardiac arrest, while others remain motionless and calm before launching into uncontrollable bursts of aggression or self-destructive behavior. Surveillance footage captures disturbing moments. A man sprinting full speed into a concrete wall without hesitation, a woman standing still for hours before attacking a stranger without provocation. But the mounting toll of these mysterious deaths unsettles the authorities. Therefore, they demand answers and mobilize every available investigative resource. Sienna isolates an unknown compound in their bloodstream, something unlike any narcotic she has ever encountered. It does not simply intoxicate. It alters neural pathways, forcing unnatural spikes in energy and aggression. Victims unable to handle the surge collapse within minutes, while those who endure the strain exhibit unpredictable, violent impulses. She shares her findings with law enforcement, but the police focus solely on tracking potential dealers, convinced it is a new synthetic drug circulating in the city. The substance does not behave like a recreational high. It acts like a trigger. Sienna pushes her analysis further, testing how the compound interacts with various biological samples. Unlike other stimulants, it does not metabolize predictably, but instead latches onto neural receptors, creating an artificial surge of adrenaline and dopamine. The human body is not built to sustain such extremes. Heart failure is inevitable for weaker individuals, while stronger ones are left in a state of overstimulation, their minds pushed beyond rational control. The more resistant the victim, the more prolonged and erratic their reaction becomes. Some individuals become hyper-focused yet detached from pain, while others spiral into unrelenting paranoia. The compound intoxicates and programs responses, overriding natural limits. The police work to trace the drug's origin. Dealers caught with it do not recognize the substance and insist they are selling standard synthetics. Lab tests show no similarity to known street drugs. Officers track shipments of unmarked capsules circulating through nightclubs, sold under different names. Someone introduced it, but whether it was meant as a party drug, an experiment, or something far more sinister remains unknown. But the mystery deepens as Sienna documents the compound's unusual biochemical behavior. Therefore, she intensifies her laboratory research with unwavering determination. She employs advanced imaging techniques and quantitative assays to map the compound's interaction with neural tissue, but the data defies conventional models of neurochemistry. Therefore, she surmises that the substance has been engineered to exploit intrinsic vulnerabilities in human physiology. Each experiment yields a series of anomalies: irregular synaptic firing, unexpected receptor binding patterns, and a cascade of neuronal responses that hint at deliberate design rather than random mutation. The puzzle grows more complex with every test, but the clarity of the underlying intent becomes ever more disconcerting. The police investigation gains momentum as undercover operations reveal shipments of unmarked capsules delivered to obscure venues. But each lead produces only fragments of the truth. Therefore, the law enforcement team begins to piece together an outline of a clandestine network operating beneath the veneer of ordinary street crime. The capsules appear in different neighborhoods, passed off under various aliases, but every sample contains the same engineered agent. The evidence points to an orchestrated effort to distribute a substance that is designed not merely to intoxicate, but to commandeer the human nervous system. But the intricate supply chain remains elusive. Therefore, the police intensify surveillance and collaborate with forensic laboratories to decode the compound's origin. The city's nights become a battleground for an invisible war as overdoses multiply with alarming regularity. Therefore, emergency rooms are inundated with patients exhibiting violent, erratic behavior. Medical staff report that some individuals collapse suddenly without warning, while others display an unsettling calm before succumbing to impulsive aggression. But the rapid spread of the compound overwhelms local health services. Therefore, public health officials issue urgent advisories while urging caution among citizens frequenting nightclubs and transient urban areas. The underlying threat remains cloaked in uncertainty, but the mounting evidence forces the city to acknowledge a peril that extends far beyond conventional drug abuse. Sienna's research enters a critical phase as she begins to replicate the compound's effects in controlled laboratory settings. Therefore, she designs experiments to measure the precise impact on isolated neural networks. She documents the artificial surge in neurotransmitters and the erratic firing patterns with meticulous accuracy, but each result underscores a disturbing conclusion. The compound is capable of permanently reprogramming brain function. The data reveal that even minimal exposure can trigger a cascade of destructive physiological responses. Therefore, Sienna realizes that chronic contact with the substance may result in irreversible cognitive and emotional impairment. Her findings cement the compound's status as a unique and deliberately engineered threat. In a pivotal breakthrough, Sienna identifies a consistent pattern in the compound's molecular structure that distinguishes it from naturally occurring or previously synthesized substances, but the specific synthetic pathway remains untraceable. Therefore, she concludes that the substance was produced using cutting-edge, clandestine methods beyond the reach of standard forensic techniques. The laboratory becomes a crucible of revelations as she systematically documents every anomalous behavior elicited by the compound, but each discovery further intensifies the sense of impending catastrophe. Therefore, her research assumes a dual role. It not only elucidates the compound's dangerous properties, but also serves as a grim forecast of its potential to destabilize society. The climax of the investigation arrives during a coordinated police raid on a notorious nightclub known for its ties to underground drug markets. Therefore, law enforcement mobilizes swiftly in an attempt to seize control of the situation. The raid descends into chaos as officers confront panicked crowds and scattered evidence of illicit activity, but the operation yields only fragmented intelligence. Therefore, the primary source of the compound remains hidden in a labyrinth of deceit and criminal sophistication. Amid the turmoil, a critical piece of evidence emerges: a handwritten receipt bearing a cryptic serial number that defies immediate interpretation. But the artifact offers only a tantalizing glimpse into a far larger conspiracy. Therefore, it fuels further uncertainty about the mastermind behind the operation. The tension escalates further when a surviving overdose victim, brought into the hospital under extreme distress, undergoes a detailed toxicological evaluation that confirms irreversible neurological damage. But the victim's condition offers little hope for recovery. Therefore, the stark prognosis underscores the compound's long-term, devastating impact on human health. Brain scans reveal erratic, disorganized neural circuits and regions of intense activity that suggest permanent reprogramming, but the recovery process appears nearly impossible. Therefore, the potential for widespread, chronic damage looms ominously over the community. Each new case reported by medical personnel compounds the dread that the engineered drug is a harbinger of a deeper, systemic threat. The resolution comes when the combined efforts of law enforcement and Sienna's exhaustive research force the city to confront the reality of an emerging synthetic epidemic. Therefore, public health officials issue a comprehensive alert that warns citizens of the imminent danger lurking in the urban underbelly. New screening protocols, developed based on Sienna's findings, begin to detect the elusive compound in emergency cases, but the detection methods remain limited in scope. Therefore, the full scale of the distribution cannot yet be halted. The police continue their aggressive pursuit of the clandestine supply chain, while Sienna's laboratory remains a critical front line in understanding the compound's physiological havoc. Yet, as authorities deploy every available measure to contain the crisis, an unsettling new development emerges. The investigation reveals that the compound is not an accidental byproduct of rogue experimentation, but rather a calculated tool designed to trigger widespread chaos among society's most vulnerable populations. The police uncover scattered clues suggesting that the substance may be part of a larger scheme orchestrated by a shadowy organization, but the evidence is circumstantial and incomplete. Therefore, the true mastermind remains hidden behind layers of subterfuge and subversion. In a development that defies conventional expectations, Sienna's latest toxicology report confirms that even advanced screening methods cannot fully account for the compound's variability. But this technical shortcoming implies that the drug may evolve unpredictably over time. Therefore, its future impact on the community remains an ominous, unresolved question. The city stands at the precipice of a new era defined by engineered terror. Therefore, its residents face the prospect of an ever-present threat infiltrating every corner of urban life. Sienna returns to her laboratory with a heavy resolve, determined to refine her detection methods and to document every facet of the compound's lethal design. But the relentless pace of new overdose cases ensures that her work is far from complete. Therefore, she dedicates every waking hour to a battle against a silent, pervasive enemy. The police tighten their net around the criminal networks responsible for the distribution, collaborating with federal agencies to expand the investigative reach. But each breakthrough is met with fresh challenges that complicate their mission. Therefore, both sides, scientific and law enforcement, grapple with the stark reality of a threat that has already permeated the fabric of the city. In the latest analysis, the evidence is irrefutable. The engineered compound represents a new class of synthetic terror, one that subverts natural biological limits and exploits human vulnerability with ruthless efficiency. But the full extent of its distribution remains a looming mystery. Therefore, the city is forced to confront a future where such a threat may evolve and multiply with every passing day. The latest report, compiled with painstaking detail by Sienna and validated by forensic experts, serves as both a warning and a call to action, a reminder that the battle against this malevolent substance has only just begun, and that every new overdose is a stark testament to its insidious spread. The night sky hovers over an urban sprawl gripped by uncertainty and subdued fear. Therefore, the citizens continue their routines in oblivion, while the underlying menace silently grows. But the combined efforts of law enforcement and scientific inquiry ensure that the struggle for control remains an unyielding priority. Therefore, the city braces itself for a protracted conflict against a synthetic force designed to upend the natural order. Sienna's ongoing research, etched into the annals of forensic science, now stands as a critical bulwark against a drug epidemic that defies conventional classification, but the deeper truth about its origin and purpose remains concealed. Therefore, the future of the city is shrouded in an enduring ambiguity that promises further revelations as the crisis unfolds. Each step taken by Sienna and her colleagues reinforces a sobering reality. The engineered menace has irrevocably altered the rules of engagement in the battle between science and criminal innovation, but the full scope of its intended impact has yet to be revealed. Therefore, the city's struggle against this new synthetic terror will persist long into the uncertain future.